Praise God, folks. How y'all doing this evening? Yeah, this is Old Truth Speaker back again. With some more news about the political buffoonery that's going on in the presidential election, campaigning and just. But one thing I have to give credit to is Bernie Sanders and his speech after the his Utah landslide, so to speak. Because, Trump pretty much ran the board almost, except Cruz had a really, wow, he really stepped all over Utah. I mean, as far as speaking of the votes, I mean, he ran it. He ran Utah. It was a landslide that he definitely needed, that he got in Utah. I mean, Utah was Ted Cruz and Bernie Sanders. That was theirs. They really needed it. And the speech that, like I said, I'm not encouraging anybody to or putting a candidate for you to vote for. I'm just saying we should be careful who we choose, who we vote for, because I'm not a Republican or a Democrat. And like I've said it before, as I've said numerous other times, most politicians are as full of crap as a constipated elephant. They're just different sides of the same coin. They could give two shouts in where about poor people, black or white. We should see that. You see nothing, what happened in 2008 and what Wall Street did, and not one of them did a minute in jail. So much for that, but that's for another vid. And I'm going to come back to Bernie Sanders and the encouraging speech that he gave. And he said, when he first joined into this election, and he started the campaign 10 months ago, he had 3% of the votes, and he 70 points behind Hillary Clinton. And he said the latest polls had him just 5 points behind. And he's literally fighting not only for the survival of his campaign, but he really believes in fighting for the middle and, well, for the working class, all working class Americans. And that he honestly believes that everybody need to pay their fair share. Because, I mean, it is not right, and I agree with him, it is not right for any company that Nabisco and Carrier and all these to make plans just because of tax purposes to go out of the country where they're paying people a little or nothing and then bring their crap back here for Americans to buy. And this is what's been going on. And most politicians have not and would not have even spoken about it till this day, except because of Bernie Sanders and Donald Trump. And so for them, for that purpose, I give them applaud. I have to applaud these gentlemen. And another thing is Donald Trump, the unstoppable. I mean, it's just amazing. No one on earth, Democrat, Republican, Communist, or anything else has ever seen an election quite like this. I mean, Romney came out and called him everything. He said, and the campaign is, and the Republican civil war, an all-out attack on Donald Trump. And the name of this one is Bernie Sanders Stomps Utah, Dump /dump Trump, and the Republicans and Romney's civil war on. And I'd like to continue this. This is just a short vid. And like I was saying, he called Donald Trump a phony and a liar. And he said a presidency would, Donald Trump as president would cause even more danger on America than it already is. We would be in more danger. It would be more unsafe. I'm trying to think of the precise word that he says, but you understand what he said. In other words, he was saying it would cause it to be more dangerous than it already is. And he said, far as economics, it would be a disaster for the economy of the United States and the world. He said, Donald Trump is just a showman. He's an entertainer. He's a liar and a phony. And I mean, the tirade, he just went. I mean, Romney went off, and then, and after all that, right before when they caucused, I forgot what states they were in with the superdelegates, and the Republican Party was just. I mean, they were throwing everything they could at every kind of underhanded trick, and Donald just every time they could, the Donald just stepped all over it. And just like people were telling them, the political commentators were telling him, people are just tired of the same old career politicians lying and just phonies and stepping all over the American Constitution and taking our beliefs and throwing them out the window. And oof. Even Donald Trump went so far to say he would use a nuclear bomb on the terrorists. That means use a nuclear bomb in the Middle East. And then Ted Cruz joined in a few days ago and said that we need to have the police patrol their neighborhoods of the Muslims. You know, and everybody they couldn't believe it. I mean, like I said, you can forget their God, their political God, Ronald Reagan. You can forget that his number one rule. One Republican should not, under any circumstances, attack another Republican politician. They just threw that the hell straight on out. That and everything that sounded like it. It's all-out war in the Republican Party. It's a civil war. And they're attacking Donald. They call him, he's just a phony and a fake, and he's not a Republican. He's literally a Democrat. Some even suggested that he's there just to sink the Republican Party and to destroy it and tear it apart, and that he's actually working for the Clintons. I mean, it's really absurd, but actually it's a disgrace. It's literally disgraceful. And it even got so low as somebody attacked, I think it was somebody from Ted Cruz campaign, showed a photo of Donald Trump's wife, and he said, "Don't let me tell on your wife, Ted Cruz. Don't do it. Don't make me do it." And it really it's getting really low and disgusting. But nobody should have the right to post a picture of Donald Trump's wife. Now, I mean, whether Ted Cruz, whether he knew it or orchestrated, or in other words, whether he told them to do that, or one of his aides or assistants, some of the volunteers actually done that you know, has remained to be seen, because you know that was not spoken on. But like I'm saying, it's. What do you think? I'd like you to leave a comment. What are your feelings on this on this presidential campaign, 2016? I mean, it's pretty disgusting. I have to admit that the buffoonery, the idiocy, the political etiquette, you could just throw that on the hell on out the window. It's just racism, and just filth and disgust. It's amazing. You know what I mean? But they just can't stop Donald Trump. They don't know what to do. He even went so far to threaten one of his managers said that if they tried anything or denied him the delegates at the convention, the Republican convention, if he wins, that he would walk out of the Republicans and never return in, what did he say, a third party or something. I don't want to lie. Don't quote me on that. But anyway, it was pretty shocking what he said. And they just... every day is something new. But I just want to say this one thing. They said something about Brussels. You have to be extremely careful. America is literally more separated now than it has ever been. I mean, it's doggone disgraceful. America, a lot of the people that used to like America can't stand and hate it, because a lot of people view of America that just a bunch of phonies and frauds. And it's not the people, it's these so-called politicians. They have literally turned race against race. It's just horrible, you know. I mean, it's just pretty sad to see. A house divided against itself cannot stand. So the whole point of this is, I thank you, Bernie, for running an honest race, you know, and I thank you also, Donald, for revealing a lot of truths that some of us already knew, but the American people didn't know because they were not told. It was not presented to them. That, can you imagine what Donald Trump said when he said that Bush sent those people over there and caused over 150,000 people to be killed and 4,000 or 5,000 soldiers killed for nothing. That's wow. And spent trillions of dollars there. And America right now is at $19.1 trillion, and that there's no way on earth to pay that kind of money. America will never pay this out. America is folding up at the seams, and it's imploding in on itself. They're ruled by big business and special interest groups. America is an oligarchy. Do you understand that? America is an oligarchy. Get that? Just look at that. It's a fact. I don't like him because he's black. I don't like him because he's white. The hell with all that. America is an oligarchy. And these people are about as Christian as the tree outside. We heard the old song, "Only God Can Save a Tree," so I shouldn't talk about the tree. But it's just deplorable and disgusting how this election is literally being handled. But on the other hand, it's funny. A lot of us are amused. We're just wondering what's happening next. What's going to happen next? Folks, all I can say is pray. This country really needs it. We're in debt. People are worried about their Social Security and their pensions. A lot of jobs are still going on. 92 million Americans are unemployed. That's astronomical, considering that hell, there's only 319 people in America. And considered millions of those are illegal. And the thing that Donald Trump said he's going to do the illegals and build walls at the border. I mean, the thing that they're saying about this man, but a lot of things that are coming out of his mouth, I mean, wow. What are your thoughts? America need help bad. I know one thing, like a lot of us are saying, something has to happen. It can't keep on at this rate. It cannot keep on at this rate. We're too far in debt. We have too many enemies. We are not the police force of the world. That's a lie. And it's pretty insulting, like he even said the same people that funded America in World War II funded the Germans, the Nazis. That is pretty disgusting statement. I mean, but it's true. So be careful and say your prayers and ask the Lord to help you who to vote for. All I can say is, folks, be careful how you choose. Do research, go to the sites and get as much information on these people, what they've stood for, the laws that they pay, just to get a little information about these people. You know, we can't vote for people because of the color or where they come from. Please, let's not get into any more of that buffoonery. That's a subject for another vid. God bless, folks, and say your prayers. We really need it.